All right, what's going on, everybody? So, quick video for the new year. I feel like this is absolutely crucial for you to learn and understand because so many of you are getting started with the new year. You've got some new weight loss goals, you're excited. And this is a big mistake that people make, and I want to make sure that you're prepared and don't make this mistake because I don't want all your hard work to go to waste. So, if you're new to following me, if you've never seen me before, my name's Kyle, certified personal trainer, nutritionist, and emotional eating coach. I've been trained, certified for over 10 years. This has been my main career that I focused on my entire life. So this is something I'm very passionate about, and I want to make sure that I'm giving as much information as I can so people can be successful long term, not just, some of my clients, if you're watching this, you know that I hate fad diets. So everything that I teach and my philosophy is long-term permanent results, something that's sustainable, realistic, and practical. This is not a get fit quick thing. If you're wanting to lose 100 pounds or 30 pounds in 30 days, this is not the video for you. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I went ahead and titled this, How to Lose Your Love Handles and Belly Fat, which comes down to what's called a calorie deficit. Some of you are probably familiar with that term. However, I see the biggest mistake that I see, people message me every day. I see people in Facebook groups, even in the comments on my wall, people tell me like, I've already tried a calorie deficit, or maybe you've heard of macros, tracking macros. Okay, macros, protein, carbs, fat, and fiber. It's short for macronutrients. So macros. Common mistake is, what people do is they put themselves in an incorrect calorie deficit. You got to be very specific on this. This is where people make the mistake. They do a diet that they heard their friend talk about. They do a diet they read online. They do a diet that a friend lost weight, or a friend who's a personal trainer told them to eat. If you're doing all that, stop, because it's going to set yourself up for a terrible. You may lose weight right now, but it's not a long-term solution. And here's why. Okay, so what happens? You calculate a wrong deficit. Most calculators online, when people want to start tracking their macros, they go online and they look up a calculator. Okay, what should my macros be? And they have this calculator, calculate their macros for them. Easy, right? Well, from my experience and what I see when people come to me frustrated because they've been tracking their macros or they have their macros calculated, is that they're incorrect. It puts them in too much of a deficit, or sometimes too little of a deficit. And people make the big misconception that if I put myself in a really big deficit, okay, what is a calorie deficit? You're burning more calories than you consume, which results in weight loss. But if you put yourself in too much of a calorie deficit, your body's going to go into starvation mode. It's going to hold on to that body fat. So maybe you guys have tried to diet before, you tried to cut calories before in the past, maybe you saw some results, and then just stopped. You hit a plateau. 9 times out of 10, it's because your macros are wrong. And sometimes people get their macros right. They get a good calculation, but what they don't understand is that your calorie intake changes over time. Your calorie intake is based on your activity. How many days a week are you working out? How many days are you doing cardio? How active are you? What's the demand that your body's going through? Because you put yourself in a really big deficit, your body will start to slow and conserve calories. Our bodies have evolved to resist calorie restriction. So if we enforce it against our body's will and try to do a really big deficit, your body's going to fight that the whole time. So another thing I want to talk about calorie deficit. Maybe some tips to give you an idea if you're in too much of a calorie deficit. Okay? Your cravings go up. Some of you may experience wanting to binge eat. Some of you may experience overeating. Me personally, when I cut my calories too low, my cravings will go up. It's not really just me or individuals, it's just human psychology. I mean, I made another video about this. I'm not going to go into that now. If you want to know more about what I'm talking about, just message me. I'll tell you more about it, send you the link. But your cravings go up when your calorie deficit is all messed up. Okay? You're going to start feeling deprived. Okay? Maybe this might lead to not tracking on the weekends because you track real good during the week, and then on the weekend you're hungry, you feel deprived. You're at a friend's house, a social event, you're at a party, you take 1 bite, turns into 2 bites and 3 bites, and by then you're like, F it, I've already messed up, I already went over my macros for the day, might as well just eat everything I can and then I'll start fresh on Monday. If that's you, you definitely need to keep watching this, because this is you have to break out of that. And willpower and discipline is not the solution. I promise you. I've been doing this for a long time. If it was, that's all I would be teaching. But it doesn't work long term. That's why I don't teach it. But yeah, you want to make sure that your calorie deficit is not too high and not too little. Now, what's the solution? How do you find that out? All right, you're going to have to work with somebody who's experienced, or you can take a bunch of nutrition classes, go to school and learn the whole anatomy. I don't know, most people don't have time for that. Even when I did do that, I didn't really have the time for it. But that was my passion, that was my mission, that's what I wanted to help people with, and I've spent a lot of time working with calories, learning how they work in the body, having the experience of cutting them, how much to cut them, how much of a calorie deficit, all these things, experience, accumulation of knowledge. All right, so you can go to a calculator, potentially set yourself up for failure, potentially cut yourself too short. You know, you're going to put all this effort into this already. My mission for you and my objective for you is to choose a method now that's practical and long-term and sustainable. And the best way to do that is to find what your personalized macros are. Not what your friend did, not what your sister did, not what your mom did, but what are your body's macronutrient needs, okay? Everyone's is going to be different. And what I want to do, or what I want to make sure, is that you understand the reason why your calories should be that way. Because if you're going to have a long-term transformation, you need to have the knowledge and the insight of how to calculate your own macros, of what your macros should be, and then being able to adjust them. Okay, if you're relying only on a calculator, this is why you're struggling. I'm just going to be straight with you. Okay, you have to learn what your macros are and when to adjust them and how much. Okay, and that brings me to the next part here. This is this nutrition workshop. I made this nutrition workshop. It's the 3-day workshop. I made this over a year ago. Sometimes I open it, sometimes I close it. This is a new year. I decided to open it. It hasn't been open for almost a year, about 6 months. Okay. I've made it a crash course. I didn't make this very long. I made it for people who are busy, who have a lot going on, but they want to get their nutrition right in a really short, compact way. All right. It's a crash course. Videos are about 15, 20 minutes. But anyways, I teach you all this stuff, and I teach you how to personalize your macros for you so you can do it long term. So you understand why your macros are what they are and what they need to do and what they need to change going forward, because you got to learn and know how to change them going forward. Sometimes your macros need to be less, and sometimes they'll need to be more. And I'm telling you, a lot of the people that are struggling is because they have their numbers all messed up, or they're completely relying on a calculator that doesn't have the experience of how to apply it. It's just a mathematical equation which is lacking the insight and the experience of how to apply it. Okay, so I made this workshop. It's proven. It's already successful. I open it up because I made this for people. If you're confused about macros, if you're not really understanding them, or maybe you've done them before in the past, but you didn't have the long-term results you wanted, I put it all into a 3-day workshop to teach you that, to teach you the process, and to teach you how to implement it. Okay, I'm going to personalize your macros with you too. I'm going to give you the reason, explain it to you why they are what they are, and what you probably need to do going forward. Okay, we're going to do that together. That's included in the workshop. So if you're interested in this, okay, I don't want to share this with people who are not interested. If you're not interested, I'm not going to share it. But if you're interested in this, if you want to learn more about macros, if you want to learn how I teach it and my philosophy and what's been proven and successful, then there's a link. There's going to be a link at the bottom of this video. Well, hold on. Comment below if you want the link. And if you want the link, then I'll give it. If you don't, then I'm not going to. But if you want the link, I'll drop it below. You can click on this link. I'm going to have another video on there kind of giving some more details about like the step-by-steps of the workshop if you're still curious, or if you're more curious, want to learn about it. I'm going to make another video that's going to go into more detail. Then I'm going to have all my clients' testimonials. So all the people who've been in the nutrition workshop, who've seen success over the last year, or however when, I can't remember when I started, but all those people that have been to the workshop, had success, I'm going to put all their testimonials on that page. So you can go and look at them. Okay, this is not something that I'm making up. This is proven. I have experience and a successful track record doing this. So if you're interested in that, go ahead, drop a comment below, and I'll drop the link. I'm looking forward to talking to you.